Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Awkwardness. My name is
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm Lily.
Yes, this is Lily, my white and beautiful co-host.
Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. So it's nice to be back here with you. Once again, I'm in our bedroom, and you are.
I'm stuck in quarantine
Oh
somewhere.
my gosh, where is that?
It's disclosed. Is that how you say it? Disclosed.
An undisclosed location in wrestling.
Undisclosed. Oh Lord, I'm so dumb.
No, in wrestling, it would be parts unknown. Is where that would be.
Oh, that's exactly where I am. Yes, disclosed. I feel like a dodo. Okay, sorry, keep going because we have to we'll get to it. So
Yeah. So we have Dave Cole, aka Davey Painting, waiting to be allowed into the chat. So we're really excited to redo this. We did it once. It was awesome. Dave is a great guy, super talented if you're not familiar with him. And we will wind up posting some social media links so you can check out his work and hopefully buy some merchandise from him because he deserves your patronage. I will allow him into the chat now because he's been waiting for a few minutes. And yep, let's just get right to it.
I don't see anybody here.
There we go.
How's it going, man?
I was like, what?
I couldn't hear you guys. I could see your lovely faces, but
Oh, thanks.
So how are you today?
good.
Happy belated birthday!
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was a really nice day. Went for a bike ride. Got a really nice cake.
Nice.
It was just relaxing, like an easy day. That's kind of all I want at my birthday. Like I don't like being celebrated a lot. It makes me uncomfortable. So like,
Yeah.
I just want an easy day.
Nothing better than a nice chill day.
Yeah, with the person that you love the most in the world. Why not?
Exactly.
But I just wanted to say thank you for joining us again. I'm sorry for the whole fiasco of having an awesome episode in the can and then it not having any audio.
That was my bad. Totally my bad. Sorry.
Hey, we're learning. That's the only way to. Yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, that's like a good example of like when you're anxious about something or you're nervous about something, like the only way to like get over that is to like take that leap and do it and like learn the lesson, even if you're uncomfortable. When you're even in the moment learning that lesson, the next time you go into it, you won't be as uncomfortable. And I think that kind of correlates a lot to anxiety and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. We were actually just talking like right before we let you in. We were saying like I was saying how I'm gonna be nervous before every time we start recording something. Like I'm gonna get like those butterflies in my stomach and kind of like wondering if it's gonna go well. Are we gonna need to chop it up a lot? Like that's what I want to avoid. But then you just gotta do it. Like you said, just take the leap, do it. Whatever happens, happens. Just like kind of roll with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of like pre-match jitters, like.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely imagine. So we want to start out by asking kind of like opening questions. So I'm gonna ask one, and then Lil's gonna ask one. So on the wrestling side of things, my question is, what drew you to pro wrestling? Just initially, like even as a fan, like how old were you, and what was?
Sorry.
The earliest memory I have, and I could like picture it, and I don't even know if it's real. I think it's real. But I was young, like maybe 5 or 6, and I just remember like walking past the TV. I don't remember where it even was, but I remember like Macho Man being on the TV, like up in like the corner or something. Like that's the image that's trapped in my head when I think about that question. So I think that was it. And then I wasn't into it. Like my parents weren't like into it or anything when I was super young. And then around like 8 or 9, 1994 is when I like started to order pay-per-views. And I don't remember like how I even got into it again. I think my uncle might have been into it a little bit, but
Right.
so 94 was when I really got into it, and like I was a huge Bret Hart fan. Bret Hart is he still may be, like, if I had to say my all-time favorite wrestler, it might be Bret Hart.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm on the Shawn Michaels guy, so we're rivals. But yeah, I mean, Macho Man. Didn't you do a pop of Macho Man?
Yeah, I've done a couple pops. A collector of mine, a great guy who I've become friends with just through making my pops and art. I've done a couple for him, and I've done a couple Macho Man paintings. One of my big paintings I've done was a Macho Man one, actually. I'm glad I got to do that.
He's an awesome like source of inspiration just because of his like how colorful he was, and like what a great like loud, like it makes sense that he would have captured your attention when you were little, like just because he pops off the screen so much.
Yeah. I think he was wearing the orange in my memory. Maybe he was the Macho King at the time. I don't know.
Right. So babe, do you have an opening question?
I mean, yeah, like the whole, obviously Chris and I already know your story, but like if you can tell everyone like your first memory or your first experience with anxiety and stuff like that all over again, just so that we have recorded.
And I think thinking back, even thinking afterwards when you asked that question, I just back and thought about it more. I think it was like middle school when I really started feeling just self-conscious about my looks or things like that, just comparing myself to other people. And I think it was like in elementary school, like it was funny because like I was like the good looking kid.
and you were worried about your look.
Because elementary school's small, so it's like, and then you go to middle school and like all the surrounding schools in your area come together, and now it's like a huge pool. Everybody's good looking, and and I just kind of like lost that. And in elementary school, you never really think you're cool. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, you're just a kid.
Yeah, but the popularity starts to kind of matter more as you get older for a while, until it doesn't. But yeah, cool. And then just like in high school, it was just like there was a comment about my looks from a good friend, and it like really it bugged me in the moment. And to him, it was probably absolutely nothing. It was just like a passive joke. Like got stuck in my head, and it's still stuck in my head to this very day, 30 years later. It's like, so it's crazy how something small like that can turn into like.
Well, I think what it is too is like when the person matters to you, like when you let somebody into your life enough for their opinions to have weight, and then that person in a sense kind of like betrays your trust.
I don't know if it's betraying the trust, but I think maybe even if it's just if it just comes off as a joke, because sometimes people don't intentionally mean something to hurt you. It's just like as a joke, and then we might, because anxiety also does. I mean, I don't know. I'm talking from my experience, but like anxiety can constantly take people, like if they just say something toward you like as a joke, just because the way just because of the anxiety, it'll turn that little comment into something so much bigger when it doesn't even have to be. And it's not because the person's like betraying your trust or anything like that. It's just because it's a joke. But anxiety's a bitch, and it'll do that. Yeah.
So from a young age, and I mean, I still, now that I'm older, I've gone through so many experiences that have like been extremely anxiety causing for me, and all of them have really like taught me how to deal with it. Just even being in public in certain situations where I don't know anybody, or going to a concert by myself, or wrestling was a huge part too. All those situations that made me uncomfortable, eventually you learn how to roll with them, even if they still make you uncomfortable.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you have to. There's no other way.
Yeah.
That's life. Like we said, the shit wave, right? You have to just learn how to ride that shit wave.
Because it was gonna roll in from time to time. It either crashes on you and you let it crash on you, or you learn to ride it and you're still riding the ship. But whatever, at least you're riding it.
Yeah, and even like you said, even if it does crash, like you have to just learn how to get back up and keep rolling. You know.
Yeah. Sometimes it does crash, so you gotta. So like you just gotta go through life. I think experiencing different situations and of all kinds, bad, real bad. When you think you're about them, and then go even further, and those are usually situations that you don't see coming. Even like when I broke my.
There's always something.
I laughed at you guys. I'm sorry.
There's always and I think also, like you said, you have to just continue to go through experiences, and then maybe like some were worse than the ones before, but then it'll give you that perspective, like.
I hear baby.
Yeah, let me go check on him.
And also, like, it's not even, this is like something completely different and something that neither of you will ever be able to relate to. But you know how much a human being, like with physical pain, you know how much a human being can go through when a woman, like if you watch a woman give birth, like that's like the ultimate, like holy shit, this is like person is bringing another life into this world. Yeah. So, yeah. We can go through everything and anything.
I can't imagine that pain, but like, pain in general, like the leg break, that was my first like break.
Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. I'm talking about pain, birth pain, but like a broken leg to me sounds so, like right now my knees hurt just a little bit, and imagine if I can't even imagine if my knee broke. So if you want to tell us that story, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, birth must be more painful than a broken bone. Like I'm glad I broke a bone, because like now I know I can deal with it. Like it was like painful to the point. I mean, my story with my broken bone is it makes me sound like an asshole, because I took way too much time to like look into how bad it was, and like, so I broke my leg in Massachusetts on a wrestling show, and I wasn't sure if it was broken. I knew it was bad, because like I couldn't stand on it, and I just I refused to go to the hospital in the area. I just wanted to go home. So
you just wanted to go home after breaking your leg. That's cool.
Yeah. My mind was in like a whole other place. Like I was just like, I just want to be like with people I know, like,
Yeah, and chill. Yeah, I understand. And sometimes being in a hospital is like overwhelming altogether.
Yeah.
So.
And it felt like something was wrong, but like it didn't. It felt like it could have been just like a really bad injury that would heal on its own. Like I didn't know if I had to even go to the hospital. So it was like raining that night. So I had people walking me to my car, and I drove home with a stick shift with my broken leg.
Oh my god.
Pouring rain, and like halfway through the ride, like my adrenaline kind of wore off, and like the pain was like incredible. So I got home to Connecticut, and I like.
Yeah, because like, wait, you were in the ring right when it happened.
Yeah, so I was in the ring. Luckily, it was a 6-man tag team match.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
And, so I rolled out of the ring, and I was supposed to be involved in the finish of the match, but luckily the guys I was working with were skilled enough to like know my spot, and somebody filled in for me. And they finished the match, and I was just on the outside.
Oh my gosh! Did they have like a medic there to come after you, or did you just leave you alone?
No, there was a medic.
Oh my god!
Somebody who knows me like could see in my face that I was like hurt, and he came over and just helped me to the back. But then, so like my insurance at the time was like messed up with work, so that took another. And then finally, I went to like a walk-in, and they took an X-ray of my leg, and like the guy came out, and he's like, "You need to go to the hospital like immediately."
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah, he was like, "Your knee is like full of blood, and like
inside of your knee."
Yeah, and
oh my god, that's insane.
Just the bones were really broken, so I went that day, and I got surgery the next day.
Wow. I didn't know that you had surgery either. That's pretty nuts. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I got a steel plate in the side of my leg now.
Oh, does it ever hurt you? Do you still feel like a tweak or something in there?
Not so much. For a while it did, and it worried me, because I was like, I'm gonna have this pain for the rest of my life. But I don't notice it really at all anymore, except like when it's like about to rain. Like I could feel the pressure change. And
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that sounds great, like pretty accurate. Wow, that's so crazy. Oh my
that's my major surgery story from wrestling. Thankfully. Yeah.
So another thought that I was having, like right before we started recording, my father-in-law was asking about like what this project was. So I was trying to explain to him, it's kind of like tackling the idea of anxiety or awkwardness or depression or any other mental health issues, but like centered in the wrestling world, because it's actually more common than you would think. And then we were kind of discussing, like, I wonder why that is, like, does it correlate with entertainment, like how actors and, other people may kind of also go through the same thing? Do you think that there's any reason why pro wrestling, like, is alluring or kind of like a thing that where it's common for people who are anxious to be a part of it?
That's a great question, and I think maybe just because it's a different world, like you can escape to a different world, and
Right.
full of characters who are real life superheroes. Your local wrestling show and like meet these superheroes.
Yep.
And it's really important for a lot of people, and it's important for younger people looking up to people like us who are in this position to teach them and to change their perspective on things.
Yeah.
And you don't really know you're in that position until like you're in it. And like I can remember even the first time a kid came up to me, like asked for an autograph, and like this kid's like looking up to me now,
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. So, but that's when I got to be careful about like what I'm saying, And
Yeah, you want to make a good impact.
Yeah, I don't agree with people who say that that's not their responsibility or it's not their job to help. Like they'll say like, oh, like the parents should be the one parenting, and then I'm like, it's not my responsibility to be a role model. But I feel like it is. Like I don't agree with that at all.
You be an asshole, like like if somebody's using that as an excuse to like, I don't know, just be a jerk, then like you said, it's everybody's responsibility if you're in that position to.
And I feel like if you take that initiative to just be a jerk, it's because you're a little bit of a jerk inside. Yeah. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like yeah.
And it's maybe some people just don't realize they're in that position and how much it affects.
I guess. Yeah, that's true. And I was also gonna say that that sometimes people could use that the anxiety, like we said before, like that we use things that, or not we. I'm not a wrestler, obviously, but I'm putting myself in your position or in their position.
We're all wrestlers.
Yeah, wrestlers like they can just take the anxiety and use it as an out. They use wrestling as an outlet, right? And then that's where they just let everything out.
Yeah, for me personally, I've definitely used that as an outlet to even just get my anger out as a person in general. I feel like I'm just kind of a more quiet and laid back person, but especially when I was able to be a bad guy in wrestling, like I could get that aggression out, but people knew it wasn't really me. So it was an outlet to let some of that out, and even just be more comfortable with myself, putting myself out there in front of fans and stuff. It definitely helped me grow as a person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't asking if you ever had like a bad experience with a fan. Is that a good question or is that a bad question? I don't know.
No, that's a good question because I've come across so many fans. I mean, nothing like where I felt like I hurt them or anything, but like I've had experience. One of the funnier experiences was out in Ohio, and I used to be part of a tag team called the Canadian Superstars, and we were just like the biggest dirtbag.
Are you Canadian?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
my partner was, and like
okay.
I just played the part just because it's an easy, very easy bad guy gimmick to have, and we used to do it good. And my partner was such a jerk. Oh my God. But one time in Ohio, they took it real seriously, and they like we hopped the rail like into the crowd like after we like jumped somebody in the ring, and like people like legit were like chasing us, trying to like get us out of the building. Like,
Oh my
That's
god.
awesome.
so
That's awesome.
it is.
It is. Oh my gosh.
That made me feel like a pro wrestler, you know, like
Because it's like it was believable.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
totally pulled somebody into like forgetting that it's just wrestling, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
They got so angry that they like needed to get you out of that building as fast as possible.
Like
That's
you,
really cool, man.
and a little kid actually stabbed me with a pen once.
Oh my god.
And he was small, so luckily it didn't like hurt that bad. But he stabbed me with a pen. Yeah.
That sucks. That's pretty aggressive for a little kid. I mean,
I know.
Makes sense.
Jesus Christ. Where did you learn this?
That's some old school shit right there.
oh boy.
Yeah. How have your days been? Are you guys keeping sane?
We're trying. I mean,
Yeah.
with the baby, like, all we can do is pace. Like with him, he like pretty much lights up our life at like all moments of the day. So with him, it's like, even though we're in quarantine, we're so happy because we have each other, you know.
Yeah.
And with him, it's like the best thing ever, right, babe?
Oh yeah, we're like the type that our relationship, we don't like try to escape each other. You know, like we're very close, and we're totally fine just like being in a room and watching movies or whatever. So
Yeah.
this didn't change. Like all of a sudden we had to spend all this time together that we wouldn't have been spending anyway. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I could tell the way you guys vibe off each other. Like, just it's an easy, stress-free kind of like no pressure, but you know the love is there. You know, it's like, and that's how me and my partner are too. It's like, you know, we're with each other a lot, and you have to like, I feel like if you want to be with somebody forever, you gotta know how to do that. You know, like
you have to learn how to be friends first before anything.
For sure, 100%. I forget what we were talking about before that.
Yeah, no.
About getting stabbed
this is
with
go with the
pens.
flow. What happened? What the pens? Getting stabbed with pens? Oh my god, that's terrible. Well, weird story. Oh, I was gonna say weird story. I know nobody cares about me right now, but I'm just gonna bring it up.
Stop.
One time, this guy burned this is so random, but he burned like the end of a straw and he put it on me and he burned the shit out of me. That's it. That's my story.
Where did this happen? You
In
can't
my
just say
friend's
that.
basement. In my friend's basement. In my friend's basement. We were all like stupid teenagers and thought we were having. I mean, he thought he was having fun. For me, that was not fun. But
I thought you were gonna say that somebody did the thing where they like.
Oh, I remember that.
Pen, you know, and then
it
you
gets
like
really
scratch,
hot.
scratch, and then burn somebody.
Oh yeah.
That's mean. That is really. Kids are mean.
Yeah.
That's not nice. Oh boy.
In middle school, me and my best friends who I used to backyard wrestle with, we used to just like take like staplers and just like have contests of like how many staples we could like just like take.
Was that wrestling inspired?
Yeah, because we were just into like ECW and hardcore stuff at the time, so we were like, dude, we used to just like practice like blading like in our bedroom.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
Practicing it. Like, oh man, but that's like, you know, like my group of friends when I was growing up as a teenager, we were kind of like the misfits. Like,
I feel like that's how all of. I mean, I don't know. I know that's how I was, and I think that's how Chris was too. Like that misfit. Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
the people that didn't really fit in.
But like, you know, like the football players, like they stuck to their own clique, and like, but we were friends with everybody. We were like the weirdos. Every Friday we would backyard wrestle. Like it was our designated day of the week. We would finish our week of school and we would have a backyard wrestling event, and that's like how we bonded. Like I have tattoos of these guys like on my body, and I'm still best friends with these guys. And I trained with one of them to be a pro, and like he was good. He was like an incredible high flyer before people were even doing stuff that he was doing in the backyard. Like, he was so good, and he trained with me. For like a year, doing pro, and then he unfortunately got like addicted to drugs, and
oh my God, so sad.
Never had a single pro match.
I wasn't expecting you. Like I wasn't expecting that to go into that direction. That really sucks.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with him?
Yeah, he's unfortunately now he's got like a kidney problem, so he's on dialysis like
Wow.
3 times a week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really bad. And we just kind of, our lives went in different directions, and we still talk, and I still, especially now that he's basically dying, like I find reasons to talk to him as much as I can.
Yeah, and I'm sure he needs you too. I like when people are sick, they need whoever is around them the most they can. If you can be there for him, just be there for him. Even if it's just like just to say hi, how are you, is such a big deal.
Yeah, and through like his addiction too, he's a great guy, and like I've always stayed with him, and like a lot of people haven't. So like I know how important that I'm still around checking in on him and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really big deal that you didn't just like abandon ship, and just kind of like you're not living the kind of life that I want you to live, so I'm not gonna be there for you anymore. Like it's an awesome thing to still be there for people who are struggling, because they do need somebody there to check in on them and make sure that they're okay. So
yeah, and I think I needed to hear that too, because we kind of had a little quarrel recently, and I think about it every day now, and I want to talk to him, but like I'm worried he's upset with me, so I've been holding back. But I should probably just reach out and be like, hey, sorry about that.
Yeah, because you don't want it to turn into one of those stories where it's like, man, I was just thinking about it, and then like some tragedy happens, and then
it's a story, and then you're like, why didn't I ever?
Yeah, life is so crazy and unpredictable,
Yeah, during all this,
is that the baby?
Yeah.
Sorry. He's our co-host. He was here like when we did our little introduction yesterday. He was like a little co-host going crazy.
What's your baby's name?
Ezra.
I was gonna guess because the name was behind Chris, but
yeah. I pointed up like as if I'm in the same room with him. Oh my god. Oh, that's so funny.
I was gonna draw some like you got. I want to draw some like wrestling stadium backgrounds.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to show off your art again. I was looking at your page, and you are like the Sunny Kiss pop toy is amazing.
That was a good one.
So cute. Like they're all amazing. Everything that you've done is like, you're so talented, just so cool. If you want to talk a little bit about your artwork, like the whole Madison Square Garden thing, because that's all of it's fascinating. So it's so interesting, and it's great to see somebody that has suffered from all this anxiety, and somebody, I don't know if you've ever suffered from depression, but to see that you like got into all these, I know, yeah, but to see that you got into all these places, and it's. I know some people with anxiety feel like very like it holds them back, and to see somebody that has it and that doesn't let it hold them back, it's a beautiful thing. So yes, talk about that.
I never really even like thought about it like that, but yeah, even anxiety has held me back from a lot of situations, but I've also put myself into some crazy situations that I never thought I would have the strength to. But so when I broke my leg, I really started focusing on the art more and wrestling, because I realized even with the concussions after the broken leg, it was just wearing my body down, and like I was not feeling like myself. I was like just getting headaches more often. Even the depression is something that I feel like wrestling has contributed to.
Interesting.
It's made me want to like study up on more on that, and I know like concussions have been really studied up upon the past couple of years, and there's been a lot of scientific research that's gone into it. And
I mean, understandably so, because of the guy that killed I don't know his name, the guy that killed his family.
Benoit,
right?
yeah.
Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
My hero.
Really?
He was born. First of all, he was born on the same day as me.
Aww.
And when I was in Japan training, I brought a Chris Benoit DVD. That's the only DVD I watched every night to like get me through in a country by myself, like not being able to speak to anybody.
What about that DVD made you get through it?
Because it had a lot of his first tour Japan matches, so like I was using it as like motivation of just like, he was in this situation, and if the greatest wrestler in the world could do this, then like I have to push past my limits, you know.
Mhm.
So I forget why Benoit came up, or I'm sorry.
Oh, we're talking about the
The
head injuries and how that contributed
yeah,
to
concussions and how people like also like
depression.
are setting up on
Yeah,
it.
so I just started dealing with that more, and you know, I felt like I needed a break just physically. I had a really bad back injury too at one point that it just like made it hard to breathe.
To breathe?
Yeah, just because like it was like lower back spasm things. So like I don't know. I thought I like really messed up my back. It was a move that I knew like I wouldn't normally take, but it was like an important match, and I was like, I'll take a few riskier moves, and I just took this one like kind of like Michinoku driver type maneuver, and it just like crunched my back.
Oh my gosh,
I
that
just
sounds
remember,
terrible.
yeah, like right after I hit, I was like I couldn't breathe, and luckily it wasn't that bad, but yeah, just injuries piled up, and I was just like, I need a break. So I focused on the wrestling, the art side of it. And yeah, eventually I started doing ring canvases for smaller companies. And
I think I saw. I don't know if that was like what you did, but I'm sorry I cut you off. But I saw a ring canvas. I think that you did. I think that's what it would be called. And then it was for like a death match, right?
yeah,
And then afterwards, it was all completely bloodied up. But that's like awesome to see it like that because it's like the before and after.
yeah, the before and after.
Cool.
I love that one because like, and that was like, that was a great canvas because they used that as part of the show too. Like towards the end, like one of the main bad guys in the company came out and like sprayed his name over it. It was like part of the show, you know, like I love that. I love that aspect. Like even if I'm not wrestling anymore, the best wrestlers in the world are wrestling on my art. You know, so like
that's a huge achievement.
I still feel connected because like
Yeah.
When I kind of left being a wrestler, like I felt like I was like not part of the locker room anymore. And it's a very disheartening feeling when you're like really close with people and you just feel like now you're like in the shadows. And I'm sure it wasn't even like that, but that's my anxiety coming in and just.
Of course, no, and I know that's like from being used to being in the locker room all the time to not being in the locker room. That's like I'm sure it affected you so much.
It's like it's a special place and like such a special bond and camaraderie that happens, you know, that I totally get why you would have that feeling of like when you were removed from it, like you're not like on the show anymore. So now you're not like, I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could see that. So like that took a while even to just get used to like just kind of like giving into the fact that I wasn't full time anymore, and just like accepting that. And then, but once I did that, I was able to focus on like bigger goals for my art. And so eventually I was doing ring canvases. I was getting pretty good. Like I knew what I was doing. It's like, it's something that like is really hard to figure out because I can't like practice it. Like I can't like these ring canvases are really big and awkward to like spread out. Like I can't make a mistake because
and a ring canvas would be like something that'd be like the middle of the entire ring, right? That's what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, it's like stretched across the entire ring, and also they're just expensive too. Like to get.
So if you thought
they're like just to buy a ring canvas is like $200, $250, like the actual canvas itself, right?
More sometimes. So like if I'm painting on like a small canvas, like just like a portrait of somebody, I could, if I make a mistake, I could just paint over it again. With a ring canvas, I can't do that. Like I can't mess up. Every single line has to be perfect. So it's really stressful because you're just like, holy shit, don't mess up. So eventually, like you get more comfortable, and I got more comfortable, and I learned like the math of it and just how to proceed with going about it. And I really, New Japan was going to come to Madison Square Garden. And like the moment I heard that, I was like, I'm going to do that canvas.
How did you like, did you reach out to them? How did that work out?
This is like the universe working in ways that I wish I understood more.
Cool. I love that.
I was like, for weeks I put it off. Like I was like, psyching myself out, just like don't even email them. You know, I was like so nervous, like who am I? You know, like so. Oh man, it's so crazy. One morning it was like 6:30 in the morning, and I just felt the urge. Like I got up, and I went to my computer and like I wrote out an email. I just like was confident, like just like, you know, giving my accolades, what I've done. And as I'm writing the email, I get an email from Ring of Honor, who was working with them to run the show. And they had like seen, I forget what it was. They had seen my work through somebody, or they had got my name through somebody. And they emailed me asking me to do the canvas as I was writing the email to them.
Wow, that's amazing.
For weeks of putting it off. Like the odds of that just blow my mind, because it was like early in the morning too. Like the odds, like so against that timing.
It was meant for you. That was meant for you.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That was a big lesson for me, because that was like, that taught me to like, just even if you think somebody's gonna say no, just like go for it, you know?
And just ask anyway. Yeah, because the most they can say is no, but the best they can say and the greatest thing is yes, and then it works out in your favor.
Like she's forever telling me that, you know, like I'll have my moments of doubt, you know, like if I want to reach out to somebody about maybe coming in or just anything in my life, and she's always the one that tells me what's the worst that could happen is that they just say no, or like if they don't answer, you know, or whatever, but like at least you put you tried, your part, you know.
Yeah. Where would we be without our women?
Yeah, seriously, dude. Seriously.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
My fiance is the same. She's like really pushed me, just like when I'm feeling doubtful, you know, just like do it, like, or she'll help me out with like even she's kind of become like my art director. Like if I'm stuck on a piece, she like, she just sees it differently, because I'm like constantly staring at it, and like she comes in with an outside perspective and is like, you move this here, and you know, so yeah,
that's beautiful. And it's also, it's like, you know how we were talking about partners before, it's very important to have a partner that understands what you love and that pushes you, and not only understands, but that pushes you, so that way you don't ever give up on what you love, because you know, at the end of the day, it's what we love and who we love. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
To add to that, like there's been times where I think that Lily feels like my thing with wrestling is gonna just like, I don't need her feedback on it, or like I don't need her to be excited about it, right? Like I'm just gonna do it regardless of how she feels. But that's not like at all the case, you know? Like everything that I do, if she throws in like excitement or like, you know, support, it makes me want to do it 10 times more and better, you know?
For sure. And I, as a person, you know, I think we all need different things. Just we need to be shown in different ways, you know, that a person cares, you know.
And it's not only like the positive feedback, but also like constructive criticism. Also, it's very important.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She's real with me. Like she'll tell me if like something looks off, or you know, and it'll piss me off sometimes. But I know
she means it for the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, show your art.
Yeah.
If you have anything you want to show, if not, then it's totally okay, because we're gonna link you.
Oh yeah, well, I never even finished up Madison Square Garden story, did I?
Oh,
I forget where we left off on that.
No, so yeah, they contacted you right as
the email, as you were writing the email.
So yeah, and then so I ended up doing 3 of the same exact canvas, which was also a whole nother learning thing, because it had to be like exact.
Wow.
Yeah, I got my ring canvas in the middle of Madison Square Garden for the New Japan Super Show, and I got a shout out from one of the announcers on the show, which was really cool. So yeah, that was my big art accomplishment. So
that's amazing, yeah.
Never stop yourself from trying to achieve your dreams.
You should have. Do you have like a picture of it? Like you should get a picture of it blown up and framed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. As your first Madison Square. Yeah, that's a really good idea, babe. I like that.
You know, it's funny. They cut up either one or all of the ring canvases and put them in like a plaque with a picture of the event, or maybe it was a picture of the canvas even. But they ended up selling it, and I really wanted one, but I was hoping they would reach out and like offer me one.
They didn't.
But they didn't, so I was like kind of.
And they sold. Did you get some of the money that they sold it for? Oh my God. Okay.
So
Yes.
like,
I don't know.
at that point, I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to the good experience, memories that I have of that night.
Yeah, and it's,
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Let's focus on the positive.
I feel you though. Those feelings are inside me. So
Yeah, I know. I mean,
let them
yeah.
out.
What else? I'm trying to remember what we spoke about the last time that we haven't really covered here.
We covered.
spoke about so many things last
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was like, is it gonna feel like monotonous when you're hearing my responses to these? But I think we've covered like some different ground, but some of the same ground that we did.
Yeah, and then I mean, it's like we've heard it, but like other people haven't heard it, and that's that I don't know how many people are going to be listening to this. Hopefully, a lot. But I mean, whoever listens to it for the first time, well, it'll be the first time for them. So that's like the main thing.
Let's talk about a little bit about like the current state of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe some of the things that are kind of like you can't really miss like on social media and stuff, things that are happening right now. Like the last time we got into a little bit about this, like these women, the CZW pay-per-views, and just like the lack of respect for female performers, like to me,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, like that's completely unacceptable. What have you seen, or what's kind of like your takeaway?
Yeah, and I think like that conversation I think came from just like the scene being accepting, and it's a changing time even in the world. Like everything's more diverse. Like
Right.
everything, like sports, politics. I mean, not as diverse as we'd like it to be, but like just everything. It's changing, and like a lot of stuff that just isn't accepted anymore. And when you have companies that are doing like such outlandish stuff that you're just like in awe that somebody is even doing this in this day and age, like just like it's sad that those people still. I lost some video of it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was my bad.
It's sad that some people still have that kind of power in the scene, and
Right.
people who should know better and who have made these mistakes before, and we've all given chances to.
Yeah, just that it gets as far as it gets. Like the fact that it's able to go on for as long as it does is so crazy. But like you said, acceptance and inclusion is like still relatively new in the wrestling business, like to the level that it is now. Like to even think, like when a message comes out, like I don't know if you saw, Dropkick Depression has those wrestling is for everyone shirts.
Yep.
So like when those came out, those blew up. Like you saw them everywhere. Everyone was like hashtagging wrestling is for everyone, which is amazing. But like that still just only happened like last year.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that we can't assume that people feel that way, because like the message has to be actually put out there. Just because like I might feel that way or you might feel that way doesn't mean that people know that it's out there. And like,
Right.
like we have to make sure that everyone hears it so that they can say, wow, like wrestling is for me too. And I want to start to go and experience this, like.
And that's why even I think with what we're doing with these interviews is really important, or what you're doing. I mean, me as a part of it today, but yeah, it's really important. Like just speaking out about it and just sharing. It's scary, and a lot of people don't have the power to do it or aren't in the position to do it. So
Right.
Or just like too afraid to do it. Also, some people are just like scared. And don't want to talk about it because they're scared of being like stigmatized, which is really sad. Yeah.
For sure. And I even have these thoughts too. You know, like I'm an emotional person when I talk about some of this stuff. So it's like we're all putting ourselves out here talking about personal stuff that's affected us over the years. You know, puts these ideas back into our head. You know, makes you feel these feelings. So, yeah, like you said, it is scary. But it kind of loops back to what we were saying earlier in the conversation about just like putting yourself in that position, and then it's easier the next time. And
yeah, and
it's
you
like
just have to grow from it.
Yeah, it's like learning anything.
And then also, like, when you put yourself out there, you realize that you're not alone. You know, you're not the only one that's going through this. And then it's like you build that support system, which is so important to have.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a support system where the person is like right in front of you. It could be like even online on Facebook. It could be just through text messages, like any little sort of outlet, like, you know, any sort of like support system that you have is like a big deal. Even if it's like, I'm obsessed with Animal Crossing, and even if it's just people playing Animal Crossing with you, that feels amazing. Yeah. It's such a big deal. Yeah.
A lot of people bonding over Animal Crossing on my time on Twitter and stuff. Like it's definitely a real thing, and people are having fun, and even if they're digitally hanging out with each other, you know,
it's cool.
It's still connecting with somebody and feeling like you're not alone, you know.
Right. It's connecting, and it also ties into just creating. Like, I feel like a big part of the reason why I wanted to speak with you was because of the fact that you are creating things, you're putting content out there, which, even if the person is not a painter, right? Like they may not necessarily paint like portraits of wrestlers or whatever, but like seeing someone put their content out there is going to inspire somebody to do whatever is their version of creating. You know, like it's so important. Like, to me, I think that's one of the most important things that there is just being creative and like putting yourself out there through something.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I've got to the point in my life when like I felt like I had to be an artist. Like I was working at a nursing home as a cook for like pretty much my whole life, like 15 years. And eventually I was just like reached the ceiling and I couldn't go any further. And it was just like not a good spot to be for like my soul. Like it was really who I was. And my art was picking up, and like I really didn't think it was at the point when I could like try to make rent off it or like, but like my partner really pushed me, and she was like, you know, I'll support you for a little bit, just like figure it out.
That's beautiful. That's love.
Yeah. And I took the leap, and it was hard, and it's still hard. It's not where I want it to be, but like I'm doing what I'm passionate about, and like
and I feel like that tops everything. The fact that this is like what you're passionate about, you're like, that so many people in this world just like they wake up in the morning, they go to work, and they're like so unhappy. And the fact that you're just able to just, what your job is your passion, and that's so beautiful. That's amazing.
And I wasn't happy, and like it's hard to still take that leap though, because then you're like,
oh yeah, that's another thing, because like security.
Still happy, but now, you know, like, or is it gonna work out, you know? And and maybe it wouldn't have if I ever really doubted myself, and I did doubt myself at points, but I really just like tried new stuff. I'm still trying new stuff all the time. It's a learning process, and
also I think it's like, I mean, I'm no artist, but I tried to paint at one point. And she's
really good, by the way.
I'm not really good. I'm really terrible. Like I know I'm really terrible, and I'm not afraid to say that I'm really terrible. But I know that like the life of an artist is you're constantly criticizing, you're constantly like doubting yourself, and you don't really realize how good your stuff is until other people see it, and you're like, holy shit, my stuff is actually quite good, and your stuff is really good. So I mean, it kind of like, when I see people like you and you say that you doubt your stuff, it kind of blows my mind, because I'm like, is this guy fucking kidding me? Like, how is this possible if your stuff is so good? I don't know, but okay. Yeah.
And also just the concept of being able to take the leap and lean on your art as your sole income is something that like I strive for, because I'm not an artist, but just like the thought of doing anything involving wrestling and that being the way that I make money is like, I don't care if it was the most like, I don't know, humble apartment or whatever. Like, just knowing that I could do that by doing something that I love as much as I love wrestling, it would be like the greatest accomplishment of my life, you know? So
Yeah. And that definitely doesn't escape me. And I feel very grateful right now that I've been able to do this for 2 years. And I don't know if it's, and the thing is, like, I don't know how long that could last for, especially in today's climate with like wrestling being what it is and the limited amounts of places who are like looking for work or looking for even the wrestlers, you know, eventually there's going to become a point when like nobody's going to be wanting new shirt designs and stuff. So, or people are going to be very selective about what they want to spend their money on. So it's like,
right.
I feel very grateful right now to be able to do this. I'm going to keep on doing it. But
have you ever thought of doing anything else apart from like for paintings and stuff of wrestling? Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what else, but anything that has involved like people and painting and, you know.
I love music too. Music is, I'm very passionate about music. I travel around the country to see shows. Like there's something about live music that I really love. So I've done concert posters. So it first started actually before I was even making wrestling art. The very first thing, I was on a cross country tour seeing one of my favorite bands.
What band is it? I don't know if I'll know it, but what band is it?
Fish.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Baby, have you heard of Fish? I definitely heard.
Yeah, I was gonna blurt out that I knew that you were like a huge Fish fan.
I make it pretty on my social media most of the time. So I was like following them across. I think we went like halfway across the country this time. But as we were riding, I was doing like watercolors, just like random stuff, random faces and stuff. And I would just walk around the park before the show and try to like make a couple bucks just selling art. And the very first painting I ever sold was to a guy who now lives in Denver. And throughout the years, this was like 10 years ago when I first met this kid, I would see him like randomly, like maybe like once or twice a year at like a random show in a random state. And like we would hit it off, like we have such a strong connection. One of those people you meet and you just like just vibing with, you know.
Yeah.
So now he lives in Denver and like he's a really close friend, and I brought him to his first wrestling show ever, AEW, when it came to Denver like a couple of months ago.
Nice.
And so I got to finally share like my passion with this guy who I've known for a long time, and I've pretty much every time we've seen each other, it's been kind of, it's the chaos of a 20,000 person venue. So like it was always in passing, and I'd be like, he'd be like, "Oh, you still wrestling?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'd go off on wrestling, and he would have no idea what I was talking about. So I finally got to bring him to his show, and he loved it.
That's awesome.
I brought him backstage and everything, and he was just like in awe. It was really cool. But
yeah, man.
That's awesome. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's an awesome like place to lead to, because it's just like, I feel like sharing wrestling with people, it's like such an awesome thing. Like when she's watching something with me and she really enjoys it, or like she's like screaming at something that's happening on the TV, it's just it's like an awesome feeling for me. I enjoy that more than I might be enjoying what I'm actually watching on the TV, you know.
Right. Seeing another person do it.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Like whether it's wrestling or art or whatever, you know, like connectedness, like bringing people together and having those experiences with people, are like, that's the stuff that you're never gonna forget, you know.
Yep. And that's why I love music so much too, because it's that collective energy, and especially Fish in particular, they play like improv music, so it's all about like just how they're feeling in the moment, and it's they reach these really crazy points of like energy that like they just build it, and then it just like explodes. And it's a really cool thing, and it can't work without the collective energy of the crowd.
Right.
and that it's the same thing with wrestling. Like where a wrestling match is building and near falls, and like you have that crowd in the palm of your hand, and then the victory happens, and it's just like that perfect moment. It doesn't always happen, like
Right.
But then there's that magic sometimes where everything's hitting right and the crowd is just responding right, and like live music and pro wrestling go hand in hand. Actually,
And I've always wondered why that's not more of a thing. Like why when we go to shows is there not like live bands playing all the time? Just because of the fact that I also agree that they do go hand in hand, and it would be awesome to see more live shows with bands or whatever playing at that.
I've been on shows where they've tried it.
Yeah, so have I. But I mean, it's cool, and it would be cool if it was like more
hard. I think it's hard because if you're in, I guess you would have to have like a really niche audience and know that everyone in your crowd is gonna also like the band, because
Exactly.
people are so particular about their music. So like if you're in a regular city where like your entire wrestling crowd is gonna be composed of like people who like so many different types of music, you're essentially gonna like turn a whole bunch of people off by having a band that is gonna only appeal to like 30 people,
and that can happen most of the time when the companies have tried to have music on their shows. Just
right.
Half the audience isn't into that type of music, so it's just like
Okay, yeah.
Like it works. It's funny because I'm wearing the shirt like a Live Prop. I don't know if you've ever heard of Live Prop, but they're under
Is that Sully's thing?
It's called Russell Party now, or they're in Providence, Rhode Island. So we went to one of their shows. It's a good friend of ours. His name is Sully Banger, and he was running those shows, and he had a band playing, and it was perfect because the audience was exactly the type of audience that would go see that band anyway. So it was like
And like ICP, they do their festival, and they have like wrestling festival. And I thought about that because I'm kind of into like the festival scene and like a lot of the psychedelic nature of it. And like I have such like plans that I don't think I'll ever put into the world, but like a psychedelic like wrestling show with like neat black light ropes and stuff. Like,
oh my god, that would be amazing.
But
yeah, that's really
like,
cool.
Stuff like I think that could be really cool.
Just having like almost like such a crazy visual experience, like a Cirque du Soleil of like wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be really cool. Maybe somebody will do it someday, or somebody will, with $1 million, will come to me and be like, "Hey,
yeah."
I don't got the money to do it, so.
Yeah, I know. And they're not cheap. That's for sure.
You never know, man. You never know.
That's true too. Yeah, you never know.
The only thing I could do is put that idea into the world like I am. Anybody watching this that's a millionaire.
Contact this guy about psychedelic wrestling with black light ropes. But just start writing an email and then they'll contact you.
I know.
Oh my god, you're so stupid.
That's the plan. That's the secret.
But man, I want to say thank you so much.
Wait, I have a question. One last question.
We did this last time too. Go ahead.
Wait, how do you know what I'm gonna say?
No. I'm saying like last time I was gonna.
I get it.
And then you.
Do you have any Netflix shows that you wanna suggest to people? I know that's totally not wrestling related, but I'm just curious.
That's probably what I'll be doing after this. So I not Netflix, but Amazon Prime Video. I've been watching through House again. The series.
House, like the doctor show. Yeah, I'm right. That's a really good show. Yeah.
And I love House. And it's there was an episode. This is a funny little story that's embarrassing, but I'll tell it anyway because that's the nature of the show. But I was watching an episode and it was like a really sad episode, and like it was late at night. I was maybe a little inebriated, and it was just such a sad episode, and I was like, it hit me, and I just started like thinking about like my parents and just everybody I love. And my fiance was in the shower, and like I just like walked in fully clothed and just like walked into the shower and hugged her.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It was so like out of character. Like I've never done anything like that, but like I was just feeling it in the moment. I was like, I'll just do it because to be funny. But
Were you crying or were you?
yeah, I was like crying, like not like sobbing, but I was just like the show had made me emotional thinking about like losing parents and stuff. And
Of course, I know. Oh my god, that's I don't know. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful.
well, that's what I told her after. I was like, I just wanted to show you I care in another way. You know?
Yeah. How did she react?
What are you doing?
Oh my god.
Yeah, she accepted it. And yeah.
Did she hug you back? Was she just like, it's okay?
Yeah, she just didn't understand what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
She has to let that confusion settle in for a second, and then just roll with it.
She probably thought I was like having a stroke or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So funny.
But yeah, that was, so house and
House, okay.
house. I don't know what else I've been watching. House and video games. I've been playing. I just put 100 hours into this new game. So
what's the game?
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Nice.
Oh, I saw a movie a long time ago. I don't know. I don't really remember it much, but I know I saw a movie once about that. So.
There was a movie?
Yeah, I think there was a movie. Yeah, of course there was. Wasn't there? Oh, wasn't there like a character named Cloud in that movie? I mean, in the game too.
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, no. Cloud's the main character.
Yeah. See, at least I knew that.
I'm surprised you saw it if you never played the games.
Yeah. Don't ask me how I knew or whatever. I just I think maybe I thought Cloud was hot.
Oh my god.
Stop it! Stop. It's true. I mean,
yeah.
Now I'm super embarrassed.
That hair that nobody would ever be able to achieve.
I know.
I mean, I don't know. He has like a cool black jacket on, right? That's like very long.
No,
I don't know.
You got a lot of details going on here.
I see. I know. I mean, I don't know. Just don't judge me, okay?
So I will throw out. I know you didn't ask me, but
wait, but we didn't see any of his artwork yet.
Oh, we do need to see that. Yeah, for sure.
Just one piece or something, whatever you'd like.
I know. I'm like, I don't have. Hold on. Let me show you. This is a wrestling buddy. That was me. I used to have a shaved head, and I used to wear a mask with like all these eyeballs on it.
But wait, you made that?
I had somebody make it. Yeah. For me.
Oh, look at that! And on the knee it says your name, right? Go up.
No,
the other knee. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
That's really awesome. Yeah.
Grateful Dead logo. So
that's
I mixed
awesome.
it. But I got my art book. I don't know what. There's a little drawing of a man.
Oh, that's a cool
Nice.
man.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I wish that I could. Draw like that. That's always been like if I could do anything in the world and just like by the snap of my fingers, and it's always been learn how to draw.
Well,
practice makes perfect.
Just look at your.
Huh?
I know. I'm gonna go look at you. Do you have any up? Does she have any up on her Instagram?
No, I haven't done anything in like years. So I mean, even before my baby was born, my baby's a year.
I'm gonna grab something off the wall.
I know. I was gonna say.
Off the wall. I don't have anything on the walls.
Yeah, you do.
In the closet.
Grab something. Yeah.
I hate my paintings so much. They're in the closet.
I'm gonna pick one. I'm picking one now.
I bet you like them more than you remember.
He's really gonna come over here and pick one. Oh, you see this nonsense? He's a nonsense.
Hurry
up.
Why did you stop thinking?
What did I? Just like really didn't think I was good because I'm really like. You'll see. Okay, no, I know why.
I did that though, but then I found my passion again. So that's the only reason why I asked. I went a long time without doing any art. Like I thought I don't know why, but and then I started doing it again. I fell back in love. So I don't think you should give up on it.
Baby, the baby's crying. Yeah. See my painting. I'll show you. Okay, he's grabbing one. No. Okay. Ow. No. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but wait, I have to take the background off of this quarantine shit. I don't want. Okay, sorry, the thing just fell. I don't think I can because I don't know how to take the quarantine background off.
I saw it a little, so
I mean, let me see if I can flip the camera. Hold on.
it was like a woman sitting Indian style. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
oh, look at the
stop
back.
it.
The sky.
I
Sky.
think it's like this. It's this guy. It's like from daytime going to night,
Yeah.
and she's holding. And the reason why I stopped was, give me one second. The reason why I stopped was because once I put this painting in an art gallery, and it was with a lot of artists that were like legit, you know, and they really had beautiful things in the art gallery as well. And I feel like I got a lot of criticism on it, even though I should have taken that criticism and kind of just flipped it and used it to my advantage. I didn't. And yeah, so then that's why I stopped, was because I felt like shit.
Yeah. I've had those moments too where I do something that I think is good and then I put it up and it gets like no response.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you were Madison Square Garden, so shut up.
You ain't gonna get the Madison Square Garden if you don't pick up that paint.
I don't ever paint.
But no,
I'm looking at it now, and it's not that bad. But I mean, it's whatever.
But do you see what you could improve on it?
Yeah, I do see big time now.
Oh, then yeah, there you go.
I know, right? If I stop, then I'll never get better.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's something that takes time too, and but I was thinking before too when we were talking about art. Like, I don't know if I'll ever have a kid. We don't plan on it. I don't. Maybe that'll change over the years, but art is something that I could teach kids, and I could like. It's the discipline, you know. You got to be focused. You got to be patient. You have to.
This is gonna be really corny of me to say, but I don't really listen to that much. Chris does. Macklemore has this like line in his thing that he's like, painters weren't born great painters. They became great because they painted a lot.
Yeah.
And which is true.
That's very true. I mean, with anything.
Yeah, exactly. Practice makes perfect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How old is your kid?
He's gonna be 16 months, so a year and 4 months now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a babe.
He was not happy just now.
No, he didn't sound happy.
He's like, guys, shut up and feed me.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
so thank you so much, man. It's been awesome. It's recording, so that's always good.
And now we know. Now we know that this time it'll have audio because yeah, I failed so hard last time.
Nah, you just didn't know. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, this was I mean, easier than the last time. I think that's the lesson for today. Is that
Yeah, you're right.
Something doesn't work out, you do it again, and it's better than last time. And then if it's not as good as you wanted it, you do it again, and it's better the next time.
Perfect.
That's a lesson for everything, including me painting. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's awesome talking to you.
Yeah, thank you guys again.
Stay safe.
No problem. And again, happy belated birthday. I wish the best for you and your beautiful partner. And yeah, keep in touch with us, like even though we're not going to be doing interviews all the time, just stay, keep in touch with us. And
no, we're friends now, whether you guys like it or not.
Exactly.
Good, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys again.
Take care, man. Have a good day.
See you soon.
Bye, baby.
Bye. Love you.